Welcome again to the new my podcast. We are going to look at the Real Madrid versus Benfica game coming up on Wednesday, February 25th, 2026. But before we go, let me talk about the incident that has to do with Gianluca Prestiani, and I'll just get out of the way. Uh, Apparently, UEFA's Control Ethics and Disciplinary Board have suspended Gianluca Prestiani for a game, and that will be the game at the Santiago Bernabeu. I see a lot of people talking about his suspension being unfair. I don't think people actually understand. But you don't got to worry about it. I'm going to put you through. Now, for Prestiani, this is a preliminary suspension. All right. It has nothing to do with the incident actually under investigation. This purely has to do with Prestiani's submission. So his side of the story was not a racial slur directed towards Vinny Jr., but rather he says it was homophobic. Now, either ways, that is a discriminatory behavior, and UEFA and FIFA obviously are frowning heavily on such behavior. So, when you look at that, I think, in fact, the board was being very, very friendly to Prestiani because for me, that is prima facie evidence for his suspension for what he says. And it should be more than just one game. But I can't understand why because it doesn't matter. After Wednesday, he's not going to be playing the Champions League, whether it is for Benfica anytime soon, whether it's for Benfica or for any other club in the future, because whatever suspension that is going to come, it is going to be very heavy because he has admitted to homophobic slur, obviously. All right. So we're looking about, maybe at least 10 games. That is what we're looking at. So if the investigation proved that there was a racial slur directed to Vinny Jr., so by his admission and the investigation proving that yes, he racially abused Vinny, then we're looking at something really, really severe. So there will be, we are just starting, right? Obviously, we have a very, very long way to go with regards to this. Now, that is going to take me to Jose Mourinho. Jose Mourinho is suspended currently from the touchline, and that is because of his red card ban. It has nothing to do with the incident that has to do with Prestiani's suspension. On his own, when you're suspended as a coach, you will not face the media to do your press conferences, but instead your assistant will have to face the media and talk to the media. So for Jose Mourinho, though, I do have a problem with him. Now, this is a respectable figure when you talk about, football. In the entire world, all right? Jose Mourinho is a big name, a big personality with serious influence. But I think, and it is up to him to come out and apologize publicly. I just feel like by his personality, right, the kind of character he has, portrayed, he has painted himself to be like, oh, I'm this guy, I'm Jose Mourinho. I think he should. That is because he said things that are very, very disappointing when you talk about Jose Mourinho. Number one, talking about Vini's celebration. For crying out loud, Jose Mourinho was being hypocritical, and it is a double standard. When you talk about celebration, Jose Mourinho should be the last person to talk about a celebration being disrespectful. If you've been watching Jose Mourinho, well, you know, this is a player that have not scored a goal like that in a competition like that in his entire life. So he doesn't even know what it feels like to score a goal as a player at that level. But even as a manager, you will see Jose Mourinho doing the knee slide. You will see Jose Mourinho run from one end of the pitch to the other, celebrating goals. He will turn to the fan and Jose Mourinho will celebrate anyway, anyhow, anytime. So for him to talk about Vinny Jr. to celebrate respectfully, and by the way, there was nothing disrespectful with regards to the way Vinny celebrated his goal. He danced to the corner flag, and after that, he pulled up his jersey and says, well, this is Vinny. I'm him. That was all there was. Nothing more. But let me get to the next point why I said I'm disappointed in Jose Mourinho. Now, the incident here has to do with Prestiani. And it doesn't have to do with any other player or Benfica as a whole. All right. That was a singular incident that has to do with one person, Prestiani. So I was surprised that Jose Mourinho has to drag in Eusebio, the Benfica legend, into that when he was responding to his take on the incident. I think you cannot really reference Eusebio to represent the entire Benfica. It is a foolish justification. All right. It is a fallacy of hasty generalization. If Eusebio is a legend and he is black, how you want to logically reach a conclusion that Benfica is not a racist club? That would never make sense at all. So I think in itself that was disrespectful to Eusebio because Jose Mourinho was never close to the guy. He didn't know what he experienced, what he went through, and all of that kind of stuff. So he has no authority to speak like the way he spoke about Eusebio, other than the fact that he's a Benfica legend. But to liken Eusebio to that incident was completely senseless and out of the question. Now, let us move to another thing here. He painted Vinny Jr. as the provocateur. Now, I don't even know where that is coming from because Vinny is allowed to chat with other players, to go back and forth with other players. Now, you have to keep it respectful. All right, you can tease, you can provoke. Players do that all the time on the pitch. All right, you have fans going at the players, you have players going at fans, and here is how it is normally done. So fans, they'll whistle you, they'll scream at you, they'll say things that do not meet the criteria of discriminatory behavior. Right? In that case, when the player scores a goal, they put their hand in the mouth like this, indicating to the fans where you gotta shut up. All right. Or they'll put their hands covering their ears and say, well, I can't hear you now. All right. I think that should be allowed. That is respectful. So for Vinny to show, well, I'm Vinny, I'm him, I don't see how that should be disrespectful. And as fans, if you want to give it to the players like that, you should be able to take it as well. All right. It is a game. It is why we love the game. So that doesn't mean a fan or a player should racially abuse someone or whatever it is, discriminatory behavior directed at anyone for any reason. It is unacceptable. So for him to say it is always happening to Vinny when Vinny is playing, first of all, that is not true. All right. It is happening to other players as well. The other thing is Vinny is speaking up. So Vinny is getting more of the attention. That is what it is. So for Jose Mourinho, like I said, it is up to him to come out and apologize publicly. All right, if he wants, he can take the high road. But if he doesn't, I don't care. But for what I do know is, I think he lacks the audacity to speak genuinely and truthfully on a matter like that, and it is just disappointing considering the personality that he is. That is all I'm gonna say. Now, let me get to football itself. Like on the pitch,